It's Week 12 of the NFL, and we've got C.J. Stroud. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Raiders and the Vikings, and it's all up next.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, Week 12 of the NFL season is upon us, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And a look here at their signal caller, the 5th-year quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The numbers for him from a week ago, a boatload of carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does. They want to make sure they get him there.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Stroud looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. The Raiders at 7-3 now on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. You look at this defense for the Vikings. This unit, they struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Lance. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Here's Lance to throw it. And the Raiders have got him. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Lance looking to throw it. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up fourth down now. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. First catch of the game by Higgins, and he's got his guys a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. And he'll find Hall. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
He finds his man complete. It's Hall. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Nifty move. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10, Stroud to throw yet again here. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Stroud to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because cover was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
And his kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
For the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Lance now on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
2nd and 10. And Lance now to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete to Otten. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Here's Lance. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Throwing now is Lance. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. To throw, it's Lance. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. And his throw is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
He finds his man complete. It's Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Stroud. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Wide open receiver, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Jacobs will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Now Lance going to throw. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the second quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, Lance. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Shotgun now for Lance. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line. Play action. Now it's Lance. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Now the Vegas offense. Last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Stroud. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They begin the drive with Robinson, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Now Lance. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Lance looking to throw it. This one taken in by Otten. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And his throw here's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Stroud on third down now. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on third down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession as we eke closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Here's Lance to throw it. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd down, Robinson. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Stroud to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Stroud sets up the play action. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. First and 10, it's Stroud. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Stroud. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We just watched a solid first half from the 2022 rushing champ, Josh Jacobs. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Well, the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Throwing his Lance on third down. He's got his target. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Back to Robinson now on first down. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's Lance. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Davis.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he will have a Vikings first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Again, it's Lance. And the Raiders have got him. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Vikings send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Stroud will run the option left. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a 1st down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Here comes 3rd and the length of the foot. Will back them up 5.
Ball start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Here's Stroud. And he is caught. 20! And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 17-3. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Working from the gun, Lance. And this is going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here come the Raiders. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
A pickup of 2 yards. And a Raider first down.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A gain there of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
Stroud out of the gun here. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. Now Stroud. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. From the 21, here's a 2nd down and 9. Operating from the gun, Stroud. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Raiders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Now there's a short one taken in by Otten. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 29-yard line.
To throw, it's Lance. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Robinson up the middle. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Lance. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now Lance going to throw. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 31, here's 2nd and a yard. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. And this one is incomplete. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. And remember, the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now Lance. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to him.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time here. Lance. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situation.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Following the fumble recovery, Lance. Here's a screen for Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 37-yard line.
Lance looking to throw it. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And they'll go for it. Lance. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. And that run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
At the 34-yard line.
Here's Lance to throw it. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That pass caught by Kirk. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down. They only needed 1, but it ends up being a gain of 6 and moves the chains. Now Lance again. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. They'll look to throw again. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 43-yard line.
Shotgun now for Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Jacobs going to try the middle. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. Back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly, and you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're here.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On second down, Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last.
We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's Lance. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Las Vegas, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.